Your phone buzzes softly on the table. A notification slides into view, its text crisp and clear. Payment due. Your thumb hovers over the screen for a fraction of a second. You dismiss the alert with a familiar upward swipe. It vanishes, and a brief, hollow space of relief opens up in your chest. The calendar date passes without a single transaction registering. You notice the status change to overdue in the app's clean interface. You promise yourself you'll handle it tomorrow. Tomorrow arrives, and your screen remains unchanged. A week of silence settles in, broken only by routine notifications. The initial relief begins to feel thin and papery. A low-grade static hums at the edge of your awareness. You avoid opening the banking app, but its icon feels heavier on your home screen. Your fingers tap elsewhere, scrolling through feeds filled with other lives. An unspoken weight settles in your stomach, light as dust yet impossible to shake. You turn your phone face down on the nightstand. The room is quiet, but the silence now has a distinct, metallic taste. You tell yourself it's just a number, a minor delay in a digital system. But beneath that thought, a new frequency begins to pulse, a silent, growing counter. That silent counter finally pulls your thumb to the banking app icon. The login screen loads, and for a second, you expect the familiar stagnant number. The balance that greets you is different, it's larger. Your eyes lock onto the new total, a figure that feels foreign and wrong. A small red flag sits next to the amount with the words "late fee applied." This isn't the debt you borrowed anymore. It grew on its own while you looked away. Your inaction now has a precise price tag attached to it. You scroll down to the transaction history seeking clarity. Instead, you find a series of identical entries, interest charge. They appear day after day in a relentless automated rhythm. Each line is a small, precise deduction that adds to the principal. The static number is gone, replaced by a living, breathing entity. The debt metabolizes time, converting each sunrise into a few more cents of obligation. This daily drip is the system's heartbeat, and your balance is its pacemaker. You close the app, but the knowledge of that growth lingers in your muscles. A soft vibration comes from your phone in your pocket. Your screen lights up with a stack of notifications. The one on top is from the bank. Your thumb hovers, caught between clearing it and opening it. The preview text is polite but firm. Reminder, payment overdue. Late fee applied. The formality of those last three words lands with a physical weight. The silent period is officially over. This is no longer a passive reminder you can archive. It is an active, documented fact. Ignoring it now requires conscious effort, a deliberate act of avoidance that drains energy. The notifications will keep coming, each one a tiny anchor pulling your attention back. You swipe the alert away, but the late fee applied text seems burned into the glass. The background tension you've been ignoring sharpens into a focused point of anxiety. You find yourself avoiding the app icon on your home screen, scrolling past it quickly. Yet your mind keeps returning to that transaction list, watching the imaginary numbers tick upward. The debt is no longer a problem for future you. It is a present, growing organism in your financial ecosystem, and it has just learned how to make its presence known. Its presence becomes tangible the moment your credit report loads on the screen. A bold red arrow points decisively downward next to your score. This number is no longer a private metric inside an app. It is your financial reputation crystallized into a single, falling digit. A public record now carries the comment, "Late payment on revolving account." Future doors begin to close silently, apartment applications stalling, insurance premiums recalculating upward. You receive an official email titled "Change in terms of your credit agreement." Your stomach tightens as you scan for the new APR. The penalty rate is nearly double your original one. Each day of inaction now accrues interest at an accelerated, predatory pace. The debt transforms from a static sum into a compounding entity. Your phone vibrates with another call from an unknown number. The tone has shifted from reminder to demand. You finally open the banking app to make the minimum payment. Your finger hovers over the confirm button before tapping it. The transaction processes, and the screen refreshes. The total balance does not decrease. It has actually increased by a few dollars since last month. Your payment only covered a fraction of the new interest accrued. The principal amount remains untouched, a stubborn monument. You are running just to stay in the same place, a financial treadmill set to maximum incline. The history page shows your payment listed right beside the new, higher total, a cruel juxtaposition. This is the spiral. Every cent you send merely feeds the interest, never touching the core. A cold sweat breaks across your neck as the geometry of the trap becomes perfectly clear. The geometry of the trap is a perfect, inescapable circle. A new envelope appears in your mailbox, marked "Debt Collection" from a name you've never seen. This is not a reminder. This is a transfer of ownership. Your account is no longer a liability on a bank's ledger, but an asset on a collector's spreadsheet. You scroll the letter, and your breath catches on the phrase, "Your debt has been acquired." You are not a client here. You are a return on investment that must be extracted. A week later, a registered letter arrives with the weight of a legal summons. Your fingers fumble with the thick paper, eyes scanning for the threats bolded in black. Legal action, wage garnishment, asset seizure. This is no longer a digital alert you can swipe away. This is paper and ink promising to reach into your life and take. The polite fiction of working with you has evaporated. You check your email, heart jumping at a reply about the apartment application. The subject line, regarding your application, holds a fleeting moment of hope. You open it to see a professionally kind rejection. Your gaze locks onto the single line citing unsatisfactory credit history results. The debt has left your phone screen. It now stands between you and a roof. It whispers in the ear of every algorithm judging your stability. Your world shrinks to the size of your kitchen table, littered with these official documents. You sit in the silence, staring at your own blurred reflection in the dark glass of your phone. You run a hand over your face, feeling the strain. The reflection shows not a person, but a problem that now defines every next move. The calls start coming to your workplace, a new frontier of humiliation breached. Your manager asks with polite concern about the personal calls. You mumble an excuse, face burning. The pressure is no longer contained to your private hours. It has leaked into your livelihood. Every notification, every ring tightens a vice around your chest. You calculate your payments against the new, crushing interest, and the numbers offer no exit. Ignoring this is no longer an option. The corner you're in has solid walls of paper and law. Panic crests into a cold, sharp clarity. The spiral has hit bedrock. There is no forward path except through the mountain of paper in front of you. The debt has a physical address and a case number now. Your breathing is shallow, but your mind, for the first time in months, stops racing in circles. You are out of road. The only move left is to turn and face it. You're out of road, so you lay out a map instead. The desk lamp casts a sharp circle of light on a blank sheet. Your hand picks up a pen, its weight unfamiliar and deliberate. Panic is a fog, but numbers are a landscape you can chart. You write down the first total, and ink anchors the abstract dread to paper. You list each account, its balance a cold, hard fact. Next to each, you note the interest rate, a percentage that once felt like a ghost, now just a multiplier. You calculate the minimum payments, those monthly rituals that did nothing but feed the machine. Your eyes track down the completed columns, and the chaotic pressure condenses into a structured problem. You see the battlefield for the first time. One column holds sheer size, a looming mountain of principle. The other holds danger, the steep cliffs of compounding interest. You have two weapons against this terrain. The snowball targets the smallest debts first, quick victories to build momentum. Your finger taps the smallest number on the page. The avalanche goes for the highest interest rates, pure mathematical efficiency to stop the bleeding. Your gaze shifts to the most predatory percentage. The choice isn't about hope, it's a tactical decision based on your resources and resolve. You circle your chosen strategy, committing ink to intent. The plan on paper demands action in the world. You open your phone to the saved contact for customer service. Your notes sit beside the device, a script of facts instead of pleas. This call isn't an apology, it's a negotiation. You are no longer a subject of the system but a participant. You take a final breath, the air cool and steady in your lungs. The oppressive silence of the spiral is about to be broken by a voice, even if it's just a hold recording. Your thumb presses the green call icon. The screen changes, a timer begins its count, and the first mechanical ringtone cuts through the quiet. You are not calling for mercy. You are calling with a proposal. The conversation has begun.